What's up, everybody? It is Sparks Comics here, finally back in New Orleans, and time to talk about this week's new comics coming out. Gonna do a top picks for the indie comics coming out this week for New Comic Book Day on that's September 15th. So stay tuned for that. But first, as always, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not. Like the video, drop a comment below, let me know what you're looking forward to this week for New Comic Book Day, and let's dive into it. So this week there are a lot of indie comics, guys, so I couldn't get to a top 10. I got a top 15 for you guys. There's just a lot of indie comics. There's some that might not have made the top 10, but I'm still really excited for and I want you guys to know about. So let's talk about it. First up, we have from Behemoth Comics, Junkie Cable issue number 4 from Claudio Avella. I believe this is the last issue. It's a very strange story, but I've loved it. Yeah, it's the end of their journey to recover their daughter in this colorful fantasy world full of phallic-shaped objects, which that is actually very true. But it's got this manga style to it. It feels very much more inspired by manga than traditional comics. So very much loving that, the style of the story. And so that is 15th on my list this week. So let's get into number 14. Number 14 from Boom Studios, the Boombox imprint, Save Yourself, issue number 4 of 4. That wraps up this story. Bones Leopard writing, Kelly and Nicole Matthews doing the art on this. Such a good story. It is Boombox, so you think, it's young readers, but it is excellent for all readers. Absolutely a great story. Highly recommend it. It's definitely got sci-fi vibes. This is the one that is the story that gets called, the one about the evil Powerpuff Girls. Got that vibe to it, but so much more going on in this story, so be sure to check it out. For number 13 on the list, Beyond the Breach, issue number 3, from Aftershock Comics. We've got this one from Ed Brisson and Damian Cuchero. After issue 1, I was a little bit hesitant on continuing, but issue number 2 was phenomenal and took the story in a whole new direction. I'm excited to see what happens in issue 3. We got a showdown in Garberville. This new friend might be an ultra-dimensional outlaw on the run. And he might be able to explain, though, what the heck's going on with the breach and the aliens coming through. So, very excited for this. Aftershock's been killing it. This story, definitely one I'm very, very much looking forward to reading. And going to number 12, we have another Aftershock comic, Clans of Bellari, issue number 3 as well. Rob and Peter Blackie writing this with Daniel Main on the art and Andy Clark doing the covers. Issue 1, really loved. Issue 2, I didn't like as much as issue 1, but still loving this sci-fi world that they're building and the different clans and that whole idea. I'm not going to go through the whole previews read on this, but it's a fun sci-fi story so far. It's going to get interesting to see how they take this to the next step. It's a little bit bigger than a usual book, 24 pages. It also has cardstock cover, so it is a $4.99 price tag, but great series, and that's my number 12 pick from Aftershock Comics. Going into number 11, which, guys, I don't know how this is number 11, because this is one of my favorite series. It's number 11. Seven Secrets, number 12. Tom Taylor, Danielle Denucuelo. This is issue 12. This ends the second volume of Seven Secrets, and originally I thought that was the end of the series, but I don't know if it is. I'm hoping it's not, because I really want Seven Secrets to just keep on going and going. It might have been originally planned that way, but I can see that this could go on beyond this point. So we'll see what happens here, how issue 12 ends, and how that ends the second volume. But yeah, it's just such a good story. Tom Taylor is just doing such a good job with everything that I've seen him put out recently. So definitely check this out. Moving into our top 10 now, we have Wind, issue number 10, from James Tynion and Michael D. Alinis. Absolutely, again, another one of my favorite books, but it's not even in the top 5 this week, because there's so many good hidden indie titles this week that I want you guys to know about. People know about Seven Secrets. People know about Wind. Wind is amazing. This ends the second arc of the story. There will be one more arc, or at least there originally was planned only one more arc. So we'll see how that continues, if it does end after the 3 arcs. I absolutely love this. I love this fantasy world that Tynion has built with Dialinis, and absolutely can't wait to see how this wraps up this arc. Funny thing about this, it was a Boombox title originally, Volume 1 was, but Volume 2 is not. And there is a good reason for that. So if you're on the fence about it, thinking it's more, set for younger audiences, it is not. It's not set for younger audiences. So be sure to check this one out. Number 9 is one from Scout Comics, from one of my favorite writers, Massimo Rosi. We got Locust, issue number 4 of 8. This will be halfway through the story, and this has been crazy. I wrote a review on this on our website for issue number 3, so be sure to go check that out. I feel like that just came out last week, the week before, but number 4 is coming out now. So I like that things are kind of pumping out now with the story, so I can keep reading it. Essentially, people have been turned into locusts, giant alien-like locusts, and people are fighting for survival. There is one group that's this very religious type of group that's almost cult-like, and Max, our main character, was with them earlier before they became in this cult-like way, but took a run for it and now has come back to try to save someone from them. It's really good. It is creepy. It is horrific. But it's one of those titles that you gotta check out if you have not heard of it. Takes us to number 8 from Boom Studios. We got Ma number 1. It's a 5-issue miniseries coming from Boom. This is, they're saying, perfect for readers of Redlands and Something is Killing the Children. What happens when one woman becomes the real monster society has always made her out to be? Dragged by her sister Wendy to a feminist retreat out on the remote island of Angidia, Marion Angela Weber hopes to gain some perspective and empowerment that isn't at the bottom of a bottle, but everything is horribly derailed after an assault on their first night there. The violent encounter awakens something in Marion she never imagined, triggering warped mutations in her body and awakening a hunger she can't bring herself to name. When the townsfolk react with suspicion and violence, what unforgivable act will transform Marion into the very monster they've made her out to be? A provocative 5-issue horror series from award-winning journalist and opinion writer Jude Ellison Doyle and artist A.L. Kaplan. Explores the anger of women trapped by society's expectations and the reclamation of power through collective rage. Covers on this look fantastic. Story idea sounds really good. And you can get a peek at what the interiors look like right now on the website, on the previews website. So feel free to go check that out. But yeah, I'm digging the concept for this, so it is my number 8 pick on the list. Taking us to the number 7 pick, which is another Scout Comics book, which used to be limited. It was going to be a limited run to 7 issues, but now is an ongoing title coming from Scout Comics. This is By the Horns. We're on to issue number 5. This one written by Marquesan Nasso with art by Jason Murr. The abduction of Rigby has taken a heavy toll on Elodie and her allies as they make their way across the continent toward the western stronghold of Keb, the Night Sand Warlock. In the north, the Wind Wizard's villainous plan for Solothus intensifies. If you aren't checking out this story about unicorns and wizards and crazy other creatures, you gotta. It's amazing. I didn't think I was going to like it when I read issue number 1. It's like, it's a story about unicorns, whatever. But it's so much more than just a story about unicorns. It is phenomenal. You need to check this out if that type of fantasy story is up your alley. So that, I believe, was number 7. We have at number 6 another Scout book. Is a big Scout week this week. We have Stake number 6 from David Byrne and Francesca Fantini. We're going to Italy, guys. Balla Italiano. Angel's quest takes her to the canals of Venice. Alone in a foreign land, she finds herself close to tracking down one of Ashwin's goon squad, but has her training been enough if she does find him? Find out in the exciting conclusion to season 1 of Stake. So this wraps up that first volume of Stake. Afterwards, there's more going to happen in the world of Stake. There are, of course, we've talked about the Kickstarters before with David, but there is some spin-off stories in Stake talking about Jessamy's past. So I believe those are eventually coming to Scout as well. But lots more to look out for with Stake. It is a great story about vampires, not a typical vampire story, which is why I really love this. So it is my number 6 pick. Taking me number 5, where we got a book from Second Sight Publishing. We got Duplicate, issue number 3 from Carla Nappi, Mariana Strachowski, and Layla Del Luca doing the cover art on cover A. Duplicate is great. Issue 1, issue 2, phenomenal. Second Sight isn't getting enough love yet. They're still newer, but this story has been great. You've probably heard about this story from Carla going on several channels in the community talking about the book. I believe issue 5 maybe is going on to Kickstarter soon, kickstarting to fund the art for the project. But we're on to issue 3 of what's coming out through Second Sight and into the previews catalog here. Let's get into the description here. All evidence points to Robert Thunnell, head of the dangerous spiritual cult, the Asclepius Project, and Matt's former mentor, as the responsible party for Matt's kidnapping. Fearing for Matt's life, Sean races to rescue him while the hunt for the mole at Regenerous Tech uncovers some hidden truths about a trusted employee. So, lots of plot twists that have happened. This issue 2 ended on a very big cliffhanger with Matt being kidnapped. I am very much looking forward to seeing what happens next. It's been probably about 2 months since last issue. It's coming out about every 2 months to keep things going there. But this is a 5-issue miniseries in total, and I'm very much wanting to see what happens next here. So moving in, that was number 5. We're coming down the stretch here. Number 4, we've got Campisi, the Dragon Incident, issue number 2 from James Patrick, Marco Locati, cover art by Fran Galan. This one from Aftershock Comics. I loved issue number 1. I love this different take on dragons in the modern world, and you know, the whole like mob kind of thing going on as well. Madun. A frickin' dragon has flown into the Green Village with an ultimatum, and since that neighborhood is run by the mob, it needs to be handled a very certain way as to not attract attention. This means it's now Sonny Campisi's problem to navigate. But as he tries to fix it, one complication after another arises, not the least of which is that the dragon is kind of an a-hole. I mean, I imagine a lot of dragons are, but 24 pages of story and art with a cardstock cover. This is one really, if you love dragon stories, you gotta check this out. The humor in it is awesome, and this is gonna be a good week. Lots of good reads, and that's gonna be one of them. Number 3, we've got a new one coming from Image Comics from Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Primordial issue number 1 of 6. Mind-bending sci-fi collides with Cold War thriller in this 6-issue miniseries by the best-selling and Eisner-winning creative team behind Gideon Falls. In 1957, the USSR launched the dog Laika into Earth's orbit. 2 years later, the USA responded with 2 monkeys, Abel and Baker. These animals never returned, but unbeknownst to everyone, they did not die in orbit. They were taken, and now they're coming home. I love this concept. Absolutely love it. Looking at how this is laid out in the previews catalog, this is going to be a wild story. And I haven't really read a lot of Jeff Lemire. I just read May's book and loved it, though. So I'm hoping I like this one as well. So we'll see on Wednesday. Gonna talk about it if I do, of course. So we'll let you guys know. Coming into our final 2 here, we've got from Behemoth Comics, 9 Stones, number 2, from Samuel Spano. This was a story published on Tapas for many years. It's got 4 million readers and 40,000 monthly subscribers. This first issue was amazing. I loved it. I love the art style from Samuel. The story is fantastic as well. Issue 2, as Allie attempts to relax after the craziest day of their life, they're immediately thrusted into an impromptu party, only this one isn't the kind with candy and piñatas. As this evolves, so does Allie and Chris's relationship to a level Allie never expected. We shall see where this goes next, but this just screams like it's going to be an amazing story just off of the start. I'm all in. You can actually check it out on Tapas still as well. See if it's something that you're going to like, and then go buy one, because definitely something to check out. The story so far has been crazy. Allie's father essentially is in charge of a drug dealing business that's hidden within like a delivery service, and Chris is the one teaching Allie how to do the job, going on that delivery with them, and the delivery goes south and a rival gang tries to kill them. And so they run, and there's this darkness surrounding Allie and in Allie's head that manifests and talks to them. It's crazy. You guys just gotta check it out. I'm hyped for it, as you can tell. But that is my number 2 pick, 9 Stones, number 2. And coming at number 1, I gotta pick a number 1. And this one is going out to Nobody's Child, number 1 of 6 from Behemoth Comics, written by Massimo Rosi with art by Ramiro Borrallo. And this is why I'm so hyped for this, guys. And I mean, we'll get to the other part, but the main reason is the story itself. In an unspecified time in the future, it is discovered that within a special breed of albino rhinoceros, there is a genetic code that holds the properties to regenerate man, that can cure all diseases, even those very serious. As a result, in a short period of time, this albino rhino becomes nearly extinct. Of course, it's what's going to happen with anything that like that type of thing were to come up. But there is one remaining called Sabium. Enter Bakari, a boy dealing with his own devastation, who now decides to dedicate his life to protecting this rhino. This has me super excited for. It sounds like we've got kind of a protection, animal protection kind of story, a outcast kind of situation going on here, and I love this idea. I love what this story stands for, and that is why You Promised Me Comics, together with Anna Shadowcat, is putting out an exclusive variant for Nobody's Child #1. Anna's art on the cover is phenomenal. Got that up on the screen for you guys here. So if you are interested in getting this exclusive variant, which is limited to 300 copies, hit us up. You Promised Me Comics at gmail.com, or You Promised Me Comics on Instagram, Sparks Comics on Instagram, or Caroline's Comics on Instagram. Hit up any of those 4 places and let us know that you want one. The cost is $15.99. There's $8 for shipping. Give us your email and your address, and we will send you over a PayPal invoice so you can pay for the comic, and we will get that sent over to you. Super excited. It's our very first exclusive cover. This is such a cool book. I love the writer's writing for everything that he's been doing. Like I talked about earlier, LOCUST is way up there on my list of books that I love. Love Vietnam horror. So to get to do this on this title has me super excited, and I can't wait to get the copies in to show you guys what they look like and to send them to you guys that have purchased them. So thanks everybody who's already purchased a copy. We really appreciate it. This is something new that we're trying. Our goal is really to sell enough to cover costs of it. We would love to sell out. That would be phenomenal. But we're just doing this because we absolutely love Anna's art. We love the concept for this story, and we wanted to put out something for you guys. Essentially comes with our recommendation on it to check out this story, because this is one we think you guys should not miss. So hit us up if you want the exclusive, but more importantly, go read this story, because it's one that is going to be well worth your time. So that is it. That is all 15 books that I'm putting on the list. There's some other great ones coming out with this week. There's some reprints coming out this week. Lots of good stuff. You know the motto here, guys. Collect what you love. So listen to this, but I'm going to be hyped about the books I love, and those are the ones I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, you got to pick what you love, pick those books up, and read what you love. So that is it for right now. Again, hit us up if you want the exclusive variant. We will send you that invoice and get things moving for you. Until next time, of course, collect what you love. See you then.